Hello, my name is Paul Cornish and I've been spread betting or forex trading on and off for the last 10 years. I've made a lot and lost a little and made a little then lost a lot. I've done research on the subject, attended seminars, bought guaranteed get-rich-quick systems and spent more time creating spreadsheets and analysing the markets than I can recall. It's been a long journey and I've learned a lot about statistics, probability, risk management, but perhaps most importantly about myself. When I first began, I had very little of this knowledge. I bought a system from an online guru that promised the world within a couple of days and promptly started to trade. Needless to say, I lost my entire capital within 1 week. More recently, my trading record has, thankfully, with the exception of one schoolboy error, been much more successful. Is this just an extended run of good luck? Or are the hours spent gaining knowledge and staring at candlesticks finally beginning to pay off? I'd like to think the latter. I'd also like to believe that it is possible to continue making money this way. I've been told by some that they think spread betting and forex trading is a mug's game and that I'm crazy for even attempting such a thing. Am I crazy? Do I still have some kind of subconscious easy money mentality? The thing is, I regard myself as a logical person, and I know for a fact, after cutting through all the noise, hype and misinformation bandied around online, there are private individuals out there that are making money. How much is another matter. Certainly not the millions claimed by some, but they are running very profitably. The question is, how? According to statistics openly displayed on one spread betting site, 68% of their retail investors lose money. So what makes the other 32% so successful? Why are they so different from the losing majority? Do they have some kind of unique talent? Is it just the application of knowledge? Or is it perhaps a mixture of both of these? Another question I've been trying to answer with seemingly increasing success recently is, can this ability be learned? Well, we're about to find out, because last week I had a phone call from one of my oldest friends and his son Anthony, who just so happened to be sitting listening to this.
Well, thanks, Paul. Well, it's over to us. I spoke to Paul on the phone. I'm a full-time travel agent myself. I work from home, but as you understand, I would imagine, like everybody else, there is nothing to do in travel at the present time. So I was asking Paul about the stock shares, and he told me a lot about it, which I know he's been doing for over 10 years, and it'd be really nice to see how it's done, because I haven't got a clue. I've always been interested in it, but too frightened to approach it. So I've asked Paul if he could do it and whether we could record this on YouTube, because I suppose there's many people like myself who might be interested but don't know anything about it, and I'm a complete novice.
Yeah, well, I'm in the same boat and I only overheard the conversation, but it got me thinking I should research it and have a look into it, at which point I kind of realised everyone who's saying they're making a big buck from it is charging people to learn that stuff, and for a lot of them that's actually the way they're making their money, not the trading itself. And well, we've known Paul for so many years and he's such a good friend to us. He's the best way for us to learn.
Right, so let me get this right. You want me to teach you about spread betting, is that right?
That's right.
Okay.
Yep.
And I thought while you're doing that, we thought we could record it. So that's what we're doing on our end.
Right, okay. What do you know about spread betting so far?
I know nothing at all. Absolutely nothing at all.
Little bit.
Right, but you know it's
Nothing substantial.
you know it's trading in the markets in some kind of way, shape or form.
Yes.
Right, okay. Well, the spread betting is essentially being able to invest in a market, well, not necessarily invest, but make money from a market or from an indices. You could use commodities, forex, shares, cryptocurrencies, without actually purchasing the underlying asset. And what I mean by that is, if you were to buy a share in a company, you would be a shareholder and you would be entitled to all the privilege of a shareholder, such as going to shareholders' meetings and getting dividends. With spread betting, you don't get that. You are literally betting on an indices as to whether you think it is going to go up or whether you think it is going to go down. And you're using your past experience and strategies to try and help you out so that you will get a better chance of actually of the markets coming around in your favor. So that's what spread betting is. All right.
Right.
Okay.
So what I think you need to know if you want to go into this is what spread betting is not. And I'd be very interested. I know you've spoken to me about spread betting for a while, but I don't know what the background is for that question for you to ask me. What I'm trying to say is I don't know whether you've seen a lot of gurus online saying that you can make money instantly or that it's a get-rich-quick scheme, but it isn't. As I said in my introduction, I've been spread betting for quite a while, and I would like to point out that if we are going to be carrying on and doing these, I don't classify myself as an expert in any way, shape or form. All right. I've just gained a lot of knowledge over the years. And to be an expert, you need to have the knowledge, but you also need to be able to apply that knowledge. More recently, I think my application is getting a lot better. But it's an ongoing process and you will never continue to stop learning, essentially. There'll be new strategies and new ways of actually doing it. But it's definitely not a get-rich-quick scheme.
Right. I we've seen it all and everything, and everybody tells you to become millionaires, but we're not looking at it. We're looking at it realistically, seeing whether we can make a small amount of money a day.
And it's the fact that all of these get-rich-quick schemes conveniently cost you about £50 a pop, which I'm pretty sure is how a lot of those supposed miracle workers in the trade industry are actually just making their money off that.
Yes, I think you're right there on both of those accounts. First of all, Paul, you are quite right. A lot of people do come into this and they just chuck loads of money into it. They've got a pot. And they will chuck half their pot on one trade or 3/4 of their pot on one trade. You're not going to last 2 minutes. The name of the game, if you want to be successful long term, is to use a small percentage of your pot. And again, we'll be covering how to calculate that percentage and how much of your full pot you should be using for every trade in a separate video. But yes, Paul, you are right there. A lot of people do go bust. And going back to what we were talking about, spread betting having a bad press, is it a get-rich-quick scheme? A lot of people tend to think that it is because a lot of people do lose money doing it. The reason they lose money is they will see somebody online, some online guru that promises them a strategy and they just follow a certain system and they'll win an absolute fortune. They buy these strategies, they know nothing about spread betting at all. They go online, they follow them blindly and they end up losing their pot. So what are they going to say? They're going to say, spread betting is a con. And then from Anthony, your question, again, there are lots of people out there that are actually selling these schemes. So it gets a bad press. Spread betting gets a bad press from both ways. From the people that are selling the schemes and making money through charging for the schemes, and also for people that might start off on their own, that have heard about it, but don't have that much knowledge, dive in and lose everything. And the markets can bite you in the bum very, very easily. Yeah. You should always respect the markets.
Yeah. Oh well, you know, what are you looking at for us to invest into it, or to start off on an account?
Yeah, capital wise, what we
What
looking at?
capital wise? What would work?
It's a big word. Isn't it?
I know it's hard to say. We haven't got a fortune.
I did.
I know it's hard for you to say, and you could pick a figure, and obviously the more money you put in, the better off you are. But we're not looking at that.
Right, I didn't realise you were literally thinking of sort of putting money in. I think we should do this one step at a time, perhaps, and teach you how to trade first of all. And you can do that on a demonstration account, but it's not the same as a proper account. If you go to a demonstration account, it's not real money. And if you're not playing with real money, then it's a completely different psychology. And again, psychology is something that we will be covering in a later video. You've thrown me a little bit now, because I was under the impression that you just wanted to do these videos to teach yourself and to teach other people that might not know about it how to trade.
No, I want to try and make money.
Come on.
So
Might as well try.
You actually want to invest?
Yes.
Yep.
But I haven't got a fortune.
Right.
But what type of price are you looking at?
Well, that's very difficult to say. As I said,
Right.
you should only bet a certain percentage of your pot. Okay.
Right.
And that percentage is normally recognized as between 1 or 2%. Now, when I say you should only bet, what I should have said there is you should only risk 1 to 2% of your pot on any trade. So if you've got a pot, for instance, of £1,000, then you can only risk 1% of that on any trade. 1 to 2% if you want to stay in the game for a long time. If you start risking any more than that, yes, you might win more. Yes, you could also lose more. But there is also a far, far greater chance that you will end up losing everything due to an effect called the can't remember what it is. The clustering effect. That's it. The clustering effect.
Okay.
Which again we'll explain in another video. So you should never go to risk more than 1 to 2% of your pot. But there is a slight problem with that, because if you're dealing with like £1,000, £2,000, the way you calculate your risk is the amount you actually bet multiplied by the number of points. Again, that's something that we'll learn about.
Right, you'll have to explain to me on that a bit further down the road. I'm getting lost a bit now.
We'll have to go through those points.
So I've got £1,000. That's all I've got. Yeah, that's what I've saved up. Would I be all right on that amount?
You'd be all right with £1,000 as long as you choose the correct market, because some markets are very volatile and will go up and down in 100 points or 100 pips, and you wouldn't have enough, because a lot of these spread betting platforms have a minimum bet. So if your minimum bet is 50p and the maximum amount you want to risk is, say, £10, that means that 50p multiplied by 100 is a lot more than £10, so you wouldn't be able to trade that. But providing you select your markets correctly, and you're stringent in your criteria of your strategies, then yes, £1,000 should be okay. Are you
okay?
So you're gonna are you really gonna put £1,000 in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do that, yeah?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Go on, might as well.
Yeah, we'll go for it.
Right. You need to know you can lose money as well. I don't know what you've seen. All these get-rich-quick gurus and everything.
No. We know we can lose it.
Look, we've had years of losing money. That's fine. We are prepared.
This is really everything now, and this is what I want to do. I'm going to give it a go. It would cost me a lot more to do a small business for £1,000.
You've set me up here.
Right. So you're going to teach us?
Right, yeah. All right, okay. Right, so what, and you're planning
No pressure.
are you planning to trade that, or you're planning to put that on this platform? Are you going to video yourself trading? Is that what I'm going to say? I thought we would just do it.
Yeah, I'd like to.
point, yeah.
You know, we can show what we're learning from you on YouTube, and we can show them what we're doing.
Easy.
Right, okay. I'm trying to work out whether I know that you like a bit of a flutter, Paul.
Yes, once or twice. I haven't been. Last time I went to a casino, which I only go with about, I don't know, 20, 30 pounds. Once I've lost that, I've lost that. You know, but if I win it, then I'll take the £30 out, and then I'll carry on with the remaining.
Right, okay.
But I haven't been for about 3-4 years, or longer than that,
Right.
to a casino.
Okay, so right, I'm just trying to work out whether normally people that tend to like gambling don't usually last long in the spread betting market for the simple reason that they're a bit more impulsive. And so we're going to have to work on your psychology a little bit, I think, Mr. Cranny.
Okay, no problem. The wife's tried that for years.
Right, okay, well, right,
well, we'll just go for it.
People have come to me in the past and gone, oh, can you invest a little bit of money for me? And I never normally do that. I don't normally do anything like that for the simple reason that I'm prepared to lose my money. I'm aware of the risks, but I would. So you've chucked a spanner in the works now by saying you actually physically want me to do trade. All right, okay, yeah.
Should we go for it?
Are you
Let's do it.
and
And everybody else can follow it. They can follow it if they...
Right? So, Paul, you're going to put in £1,000, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, right. Are you definitely... Look, we can stop this, right? I can go around the back and turn the camera off if you want. Yeah?
No, we'd like to go ahead with it, and we'd like to see what you can show us. Obviously, we're not going to hold you to ransom, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. At least I've tried it. That's all I want to do.
We're interested enough to risk it.
And I think people will subscribe to see how we are doing, whether we're losing or winning or whatever, and see what it is. They might help them. We might do well, we might not do well, we don't know. We haven't got a clue. But we've got nothing else to do at the current time.
Aside from self-isolate.
Right, okay. Well, I better go and prepare some lessons then. I'll leave it to you.
All right. And they can always... Can you put a thing on there to subscribe and stuff for people to see?
Point down this way. But there should be a subscribe button that suddenly goes...
Yeah, okay. Will you do it, yeah?
Yeah, sure. That can't be that hard to do, can it? I'll time that perfectly.
Okay.
So click the subscribe button down there if you do want to keep up with all of what we're doing.
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, to say the least.
You know, we don't know which way this is going to go. But with Paul's advice, and I do trust him a tremendous amount, and he's never done it with anybody else because, as he said, he doesn't want to invest or he doesn't want to help anybody. He feels too guilty about having somebody's money in his bank. So he just wants to do it like that. So we look forward to it, mate.
Yeah, should be good. Oh, and the
All
dog.
right. See you next
Bye.
time.
See you next time.
See you next time.
We are thinking whether we're going to do it. Do you think you should do it? Yeah? Okay. So we'll go for it.